Hello viewer, welcome to Chungu Jamii. I'm your host Eunice Muko. Today on the show we are having a very interesting conversation. We are talking about the aftermath of Valentine's Day. I'm not alone. I have guests with me who are going to help us to understand their story of Valentine's, and also a counselor who is going to guide us through on the positive, the negative, and the extremes expectations about Valentine's and relationships at large. We have Hope, who is a student at KCA University, who is going to share with us her story. And we also have a counselor. Her name is Gracie. I will allow her and them to introduce themselves. Welcome.
Thank you so much. My name is Grace Njeri. I am a counselor. I'm also a crisis pregnancy counselor, which means I journey with women, ladies, and girls of all ages who have experienced unplanned pregnancies and help them to be able to navigate through their pregnancy journey. I also do facilitate mentorship programs, yes, and for children and for youth in various learning institutions. And I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm Hope Irungu, a student in KCA University, and I'm also a content creator. Yeah, that's basically my small world.
Interesting. Today we are having a very good conversation. As if even before we went on air, we were laughing about it. I think I can put you on the ring light as a content creator, as a student. The topic being the aftermath of Valentine's. So, how was Valentine's to start with before we even go to the aftermath?
So, Valentine was so interesting because there was, apart from having so much pressure in social media, to me it was an interesting moment. The last year's Valentine, oh, it was shaggy. It was shaggy over shaggy, but this one, I'm glad the ancestors had my cry.
I can see a ring. Did he propose?
No, not really, not really. But the love was in the air. Some roses. What are you?
Are we looking at roses? I had someone saying, ati this Valentine staki maua uninunulie shamba nitajipandia maua. Sasa wewe
Kakuota iko.
So what about you? Ulijipandia maua ama ulipandiwa maua?
Zilipandwa nikaletewa. And some sneakers.
Wow.
Hey.
Yeah, sorry, madam.
Hey, at least this year hii sound ya wewe ni mkebe haikunifikia.
Wewe ni mkebe. So in short, yeah, that the wewe ni mkebe thing has been trending actually a lot, and the pressure on social media, especially TikTok, the my man challenge.
My man,
So
my man.
what is your man doing for you to call him my man, my man? I can hope umwiti my man just sneakers peke.
I know. My man, nowadays that time may change. My man siku zote. Hey. Let me say hey, Jamii, I'm just calling him my man.
Mpake mafuta bwana.
Wacha
Kidogo.
nimpake, unajua anasikia. Unajua anasikia. Basically, I just love the way he is intentional.
Wow.
Yeah. And siwezi sema mengi sana kwa sababu
Usiseme mengi. Unaweza mwaga mtama.
Yeah.
Ukuta ameacha kwa your man. Urudi kwa hapo
Nyota izimwe.
Coming to you as a counselor, right?
Yes.
Listening to Hope, actually, she is a reflection of exactly what is happening in our society, and also looking at the social media, because we're in the era of the social media.
Yes.
There is too much pressure, especially when it comes to such days that we expect to be recognized, but again, they're just normal days. From where I'm seated, it's a day like no other day, because there is no way you're going to tell me I can only be shown love on the 14th of February or in the month of February, then thereafter an end are missing,
Sure.
And There's those who men are like, I want to train you in the month of February, I'll be missing, then the other time anakwa intentional. And you're like, if you didn't come through this time, so you also block off a good person only in the name because you didn't receive something during Valentine or during the other days that zikona pressure ni birthdays,
Yeah,
you know.
true.
Having said that, now the pressure that is there, how do we able to like draw the line of understanding there is life after the Valentine's Day.
True.
And it's also not a must you receive. It's good to receive because the pressure is there, Bana. And I also want to feel like baby girl. And for those of us, we are brothers, brothers for life.
Yeah.
Tutaenda men's conference. Mimi nilikuwa men's conference, Bana. Lazima ningeenda kuchukua tips nisikia wameambiwa nini, nikuje ni implement. What do you have to say?
Yes, so about expectations. So unfortunately or fortunately, we are living in an era of social media. And we can say the world has become globalization.
Yes.
You know, even before Valentine's Day, there was this expectation that ladies, women were waiting for their men to ask them, will you be my Valentine's Day? You know, everyone was posting, he has asked me to be my Valentine's Day.
Na wale hawakuulizwa deadline ilifika.
Sasa walikuwa tu wanaangalia watu wengine TikTok.
Tunasema wewe ni mkebe. You can't be telling us, those of us who are never asked, that sisi ni mkebe.
Yes. I saw him saying, kama imefika date 13 and he hasn't asked you, jaribu next year.
I asked myself, I took myself out. Thank you.
Yeah. So we all entered into this season of Valentine's Day with a lot of expectations. You know, there was someone somewhere who was expecting, because it was on a weekend, someone was expecting a staycation, someone was expecting a holiday, someone was expecting roses, someone was expecting chocolates. Kuna mtu hata alikuwa na expect proposal, but it did not happen, unfortunately. And so I think it would be a good, from my point of view, I think we need to learn how to enter into relationships without expectations, because at the end of the day, we are all different, and how we handle such things are very differently. And so it doesn't mean because my friend, her partner, was able to take her for a staycation means that my partner should also reciprocate the same, because maybe my love language is different from that of my friend and the one whom I sit next to. You know, maybe for them their love language was roses, flowers, chocolates, you know, staycation. And maybe for me, my love language at that point was maybe just have a good dinner, act of service, you know, and just spend a good time and have a wonderful conversation. And so because of these expectations, now we are having the post-Valentine's blues, you know, where because the expectations were not met, right now kuna watu wame break up, kuna watu who are not talking to each other.
Allow me to bring you back kidogo. Hapo kwa expectations and the love language. Is it something that you should emphasize on in regards to the different love languages? Because you mentioned yours could be the act of service and maybe staying, doing dinner or something. Na wale wenye hawakupata act of service ilikuwa kulala.
I think,
asking on behalf of me.
I think in the question of expectations, I think the safest and healthiest way to ever get into a relationship, and I think they also advise in marriage, is to enter without expectations. Sure. Because most of the times our expectations go unmet. So, meaning if on that day I was expecting this man to take me for a staycation, I propose with roses kwa beach, and that expectation is not met, sasa tukirudi Nairobi, I call things off. You know, we have this hostility, or I don't enjoy the simple thing that he had planned, because for me in the back of my mind is, I wanted a proposal. I wanted petals, you know, kwa beach. So I feel like we all need to enter into relationships, or we need to enter into marriages without expectations, because most of the time our expectations will not be met fully, because they are our expectations, but we are not considering the other party. Are they able to meet these expectations, or is this how they look at things, you know, from our perspective?
Could it be a communication error? Because if you say, by the end of the day, my expectations are not going to be met, and Hope on the other side, expectations are being met, could it be that Hope was able to communicate clearly and say, this is what I'm expecting, and me on the other side, they say, that the things I wish I could say, but I cannot say?
I could say both. It's from lack of communication and even communication part. It can go both ways, lack or with communication. You see, when we enter into relationships, a person who truly loves you and a person who truly wants to spend life with you, you don't need to communicate to them the things that you like to do. Through observation, they're able to see what makes you happy. But yes, we do communicate our expectations at the beginning of the relationship, or our do's and don'ts, our likes and dislikes. But then social media has also played a role in this, in that I know very well that my man or my partner cannot be able to afford to do for me certain things. Now, because I am being influenced by social media, at the moment of that time, I'm expecting him to do certain things, which I know at the back of my mind could be close to very impossible.
Interesting. Moving on. Wale wenye stima iliakishwa kwa transformer.
Oh my God.
Maybe you can take us back because you started by saying the last Valentine, that was last year, stima ilikuwa imezimwa.
Hey.
And this time your assistant heard your prayer, and this my man came through, you know, and represented the heartaches, akafanya hivi mafuta ikafanya kazi.
Hey, last
So
year.
how was it?
Last year dust nayo nilikula.
That was constant.
Dust was constant. Let me tell you, dust was constant, especially, you know, there's a pressure that comes in social media. You see these couples wenye wanakuanga TikTok. Mara wamepewa discovery. And then you're there. Your DM
You're not even discovered.
looks like a Sahara desert.
You're not discovered. Wengine wakipatiwa discovery.
Yeah. You're not being discovered. Actually, like I'll say last year I was from a heartbreak. So I was seeing Valentine as, what is this? Is this like a normal day? Is there anything special?
As long as you're not in a relationship.
So we are
hakuna,
breathing.
it's normal. Until you're there, now you're making us not to breathe. You see how life is unfair.
So I didn't want anything to do with relationships. I was feeling like, no. Dust imekuwa too much. So it was a bit, ilikuwa na pressure sana, because my friends were getting gifts. They were unboxing.
I think
The only thing,
there's TikTok that I saw.
the only thing I'm unboxing is new doors for work. Going to work to and fro. It was such a hectic moment, by the way.
How did you overcome it by the end of the day?
You know, you just tell yourself, si lazima, by the way.
Si lazima. Bro, you could have lied to yourself by taking yourself to a good dinner, buying yourself some
Of
roses.
course, like I mastered the art
Given
of
a content
self-love.
creator, unajipatia maua na unajipia selfie, and then unasema yeye ndo ameshikilia camera.
A friend came with roses. I took a picture and I thank it to myself. I had to master the art of self-love. The art of self-love now erupted from there. Writing myself beautiful letters, taking myself on a date, at least your pressure ishe. Yeah.
Was it because of pressure, ama because you also deserve it as hope?
unajua, as much as the pressure comes in, you just have to sit down and ask yourself, by the way, is it really worth hivyo? What is me now? What is me? Who is me? Unaona? So that is where I started a journey of self-discovery.
How is it so far?
So far,
What
so
have you
good.
discovered that you would want to share today
I've
that was
discovered-
not there that time?
I've discovered that you can give yourself love and bloom and glow from your own self-love.
Yeah, because they always say, even there is a song that sings, if you can't love yourself,
You can't love
you
another
can't love
person.
anyone else, because you can't give what you don't have.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's a box. You can only outpour what you have in excess, actually. Even
Yeah.
if you love yourself 1%, there's no way you're going to love your partner like 10, even 20%. You have 1%. So you have to overgrow it to more than 100 for you to be able to love. That is my opinion when it comes to like sharing those things that are so sentimental and has nothing to be attached with, so to speak. Because right now I want to understand, maybe coming before I get to Gracie here, what is love to you? Because February is associated to be the month of love, simply because Valentine's is there. And so everyone wants to feel special in that month. Could be pre-Valentine's, Valentine's, or post-Valentine's. There are those who are very good, because you also get to understand maybe your person has different schedules, but you also had different plans. Could have been before, during, or after. You're still in that month, right? So you're not left out or missing out so much, right? Now, what is love to you? What would you say now? This one, when you do this, when I see this one amplifies love. This one shows that I'm loved.
I would say love is shown in the little things that are done. It's not a matter of being big or going big, but the little actions, the small actions that you do every day, that's what describes love. And also, love is not all about perfection. No, it's all about learning every day. Every day you just learn something new about about love. And love is respect. Love is respect. And love is accepting one another and loving a person for the person he is or she is. I don't know if
Makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
I want us to take a break.
Okay.
And when we come back, we'll pick now from you as the counselor. What she's just mentioned, love is respect, love is the little things. But you also look at the expectations that you've just mentioned. They are so big, and when they are not met, you start losing relationships. To what point would you like say this is now, you can call it quits. There are some points, there is the extremes where you can call it quits.
Yes.
But kuna zile, you end up losing a good man or a good woman simply because of this one
Day.
misunderstanding or a day or a season that could have brought a very big difference in the future. So now, how do you find that balance of also not like kujitoshanisha, for lack of better word? You know, you're not here to compete against each other. You're here to complement each other.
True.
So how do we go about it? That is what I'd want us to answer after the break.
Okay.
Viewer, I hope you're learning as much as I am. Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. We'll be back shortly.
Hello everyone! Welcome to
Fun.
Fun. And the hyenas were there. They wanted to snatch the baby and tear that baby into pieces and eat.
Today, we're going to make a cactus in a pot. Hey, you, coat on. Are you biting your thumb at me?
I love my mommy. I love my mommy. Yes, I do.
going to show love to your friends? I'm sure you are going to do that. Friends, until next time, bye!
Here is where we keep it real. We talk about everything that affects women out here.
My community, like, we raise girls to be wives and something. So when it comes to kufanya like music, career, kukua nini, it's kind of difficult. But I decided to fight that. Like, mi pia niko na goals. I wanted one day nikuwe kwa TV. I wanted one day nifanye kwa radio.
The community that you came from, they believe that as a young girl, you need to get married, you need to take good care of your babies and your husband. But now you came out as a musician and you want to do your own things. How about your parents? Are they supporting you?
Mom went nikiwa mdogo sana, nikiwa class 4. My mom went na akatuacha na mzae. So I had no one to talk to. So the feelings and everything, nikikuwa na stress, I used to write. So hapo ndo mimi nilianza kuandika song. I guess my first song niliandika nikiwa class 4.
I'm so happy about you because wewe hata sijui, I don't know what triggered you. Ikamusha your alarm like you need to do this and you are raised in that community.
If you don't take care of yourself, you won't take care of them. Actually, mtu ndo alinipea one thing yenye ili change yangu.
Everything.
Water remains to be the world's most precious commodity, but is the most misused too. In times of drought, saving water is the only solution to making sure you have it. Don't use the shower when water is scarce. Instead, use the basin while bathing. Repair all leaking taps and pipes. Wash your car only whenever necessary. If not, use a piece of cloth to wipe it clean. Do not use the hose pipe to water your garden. Instead, use the water you clean your vegetable with to water your flowers. Do not release wastewater into rivers. Note that your downstream is someone else's upstream. Of all the waters available on Earth, only 1% is fit for human consumption. Every drop counts.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, viewer, to Chungu cha Jamii. Today we are looking at the aftermath of Valentine's. What is the aftermath for you? Did you enjoy it? Did you end up breaking up? Tungoje results after 9 months, that it's around November. Well, how is it for you? Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. So Gracie, back to you. Before we went on a break, I had asked you a question. How now do you find that balance of not giving too much pressure, or rather succumbing also to too much pressure? And you find a balance because you don't have to lose someone simply because of a day.
Yes, thank you for the question. I'll start by, I think a few days to Valentine's Day, I was challenging the ladies, you know, the women, and I was asking, where is it written that it's only the man who can cheat me? Why can't I appreciate this man for being in my life, for me appreciating him for who he is in my life, and, you know, for what he brings, you know, the compliments he brings to me, you know, because as I believe love is a two-way highway. It's a two-way thing. It's I give and I also receive. You know, it's not all about this one day I give this man the pressure, you know, to do A, B, C, D, but also I can tell myself as Gracie, this man has been good to me. You know, he has been present, you know, he has been a good partner for me. Why don't I even step up and also appreciate him by then, you know, the little gestures? And it doesn't hurt, it doesn't harm when you also show the love through thoughts, you know, through actions. And so I feel like when we are going into relationships, I think it's always good to know the person that you're dealing with, their capabilities, their limitations, and so that you can be able to sit down and tell yourself that I, Gracie, I am in a relationship with a partner who I know at the moment cannot be able to afford to take me for a staycation, or who cannot be able to afford a fancy dinner for me. And so I need to know that at the back of my mind, as I am surrounded by social media, I'm surrounded by TikTok, Instagram, at the back of my mind, I have to reach to a point where I say, I am happy for this other person, but the person I am with right now is not able to go to this level or to go to this extent. Because you see, like, I'm sure right now there are people who are going through what we call post-Valentine losses, damages, There are people who overindulge. There are people who overspent because they went beyond their means. They went beyond what they could handle. And so they always say, like, for me to make sure that I don't lose a good person, it takes a lot of maturity, and it takes a lot of self-awareness, and it takes a lot of self-discipline. At the back of my mind, I need to know that throughout the year, this man has shown me with his words, with his actions, that he truly loves me and he truly values me. So I don't need to wait for this one day and say that this one day on 14th February, he did not reach the mark as per society expectations, and then I decide to break up, or I decide to bring hostility into our relationships. So I feel like we all need to know the kind of relationships we are. We need to know the limits of our relationships, and we each need to know that our journeys are different. Couple A can never be like couple C, and it will never be like couple D. So it's up to me to know, yes, my friend was taken to Mombasa, but me, my person did this, which I was happy and which made me satisfied and which makes me to celebrate him. Because at the end of the day, if you put yourself in the man's shoes, if you give him high expectations, yes, maybe attend a chukwe loan to meet these high expectations. After Valentine's Day, your relationship will have a lot of hostility. Your relationships will have a lot of tension because you forced this man to do that which he was not capable of doing at such a point of time. So I feel like in the midst of social media, as individuals, we need to also strike a balance. We also need to have individualistic mindset. I need to know that this is my race, this is my lane. Sijafika kupelekwa staycation, I don't know, in Dubai or wherever, but in my lane, I am happy where I am. So that means I don't need to give pressure to the man. And who said you have to wait for this one day to celebrate your love? No.
Another question, maybe allow me to interrupt you. Where is it written that it's only a man who can take you out? Can't a lady take a man out? 1, 2. Can't a lady and a lady take themselves out without involving the LGBTQ? Like, we're just girlfriends. We know we are not maybe in a relationship per se. Because I even don't know where it said you have to be in a relationship for you to go out for Valentine's dinner, or rather receive flowers and chocolates and so forth. So can't ladies just go out? Can't men also just go out away from men's conference?
Yeah.
Yeah, this year there was Galentine. Even there was
Galentine's.
an event
Yeah, I saw
for Galentine's. So for Galentine's, though, that was girls' event for Valentine's. What about the boy child? Kulikuwa na Valentine's. Men's conference is something that has been there to help them avoid taking responsibility in their relationships, right? So is it written?
No, it is not written. Actually, sometimes I feel like we have really misunderstood Valentine's Day.
Actually, the Bible says that on the 14th day in the second month, they will eat bitter herbs.
Hey,
I feel like we have really distorted the meaning of Valentine's Day as the years are going by. Because when I was reading the history of Valentine's Day, it comes from a saint, Saint Valentine's. And I remember thinking to myself, on Valentine's Day, I don't need to have a boyfriend. I don't need to have a husband to be able to, celebrate the other person. It's not always just about the man-woman relationship, but also I remember I was looking at it from this perspective of, it's Valentine's Day. I could decide to, celebrate my parents. I could decide to take them out. I could decide to appreciate them for the love that they have shown me, that, that is unconditional, or to just take them for that staycation, or to just tell them, you know what, this Valentine's Day, I would like to treat you as my parents because you have been very good to me. You could also decide to celebrate it with your colleagues, to decide to celebrate it with your brothers, your sisters, your siblings. And also, as you said, this year I saw that new concept of Valentine's Day, we are just women. We can go out after work, have dinner together, spend the time together, laughing, sharing stories. It doesn't mean that when Valentine's Day comes, you must celebrate it it doesn't mean you have to be in a relationship. I mean, we can go out for dinner, we can go out for lunch. I can buy you a chocolate and tell you, know what, you have been a good friend to me, without any strings attached. So I feel like as time goes by, and with the influence of social media, we are slowly distorting that, the Valentine's Day. Yes.
We've said so much about now. We've mentioned the funny facts of the misheveve, the bitter herbs, the mkebe part, and there is this thing that has been, like I mentioned before, there's a meme that I came across the other day that is saying, just because I expect the little that you're giving doesn't mean you have to give me the bare minimum. Also, as you're saying, we should also know our partners, and also what they're capable of doing. That there is this notion of always going out of your way, just coming out from your comfort zone, simply because you can't afford doesn't mean you'll never afford.
True.
But also staying in that space of knowing, I can't afford.
Yeah.
Is also a wrong notion, whereby you'll also I'll feel unappreciated and I'll walk out. And okay, I may not even necessarily walk out per se, but there is someone else who will notice and will start appreciating me. And I'll start seeing, so grass are greener on the other side.
Yeah.
So now, when we have such people, because now we are looking at two types of people.
Yes.
One who is comfortable with not providing, and also you being the understanding girlfriend or boyfriend, knowing that my partner can't provide and I'm okay and we are good to go. And now you're already accepting the bare minimum, right?
Okay.
Because you also know at least you're worth more or something, right? And then there is the other aspect of the one who was saying, the independent woman.
True.
Who doesn't accept anything from any man. It could be because of past traumas, maybe not able to heal, or others they say, I'm single by choice. Others, it's a choice of not accepting anything from any man, like it's deliberate, not something that it's being forced on them. It's because mostly, especially when we are looking at the femicide issues, we've had men saying that I have invested in her. So this independent kind of a lady is like, I don't want you to invest on me because I'm not yet decided with what this is us. We have not defined us, because again, if I ask you to define us, you say I'm asking for validation. And I'm not here to be validated.
Yeah.
So having all these things mixed up, now how do you now start entangling one by one so that one also doesn't stay in a comfort zone, not delivering, and when I go out, you also start complaining?
Okay, so I'll begin by, anytime we do an investment, we expect returns.
True.
We don't put our money where there'll be no returns.
No, you could be putting kwa zile banks za Waislamu as in anga interest, sister.
True. But most of so I know that we need to acknowledge that in our relationships, even in our marriages, we evolved with time. With time, things change.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean because I have said that my man cannot afford this for now, I don't expect the situation to be like that all the years of our dating period. I expect each year or each time or each season for him to make an effort, for me to see that indeed he couldn't afford this, he couldn't do this, but he's making an effort for him to grow, you know, for us to grow in this relationship, and even for him to be able to take care of me, or even for me to be able to take care of him, that we are both working hard to grow towards a growth pattern. But now, should you find yourself in a relationship where things are stagnant, year in, year out, season in, season out, things are not changing, things are static, then I think that is the time when we can say that indeed, if you feel like you are not growing in this relationship, if you feel like your relationship is not going anywhere or it's not heading anywhere, then that is when we can tell you, then you can, you know, decide, make a decision and walk out, because you can see that the man is clearly in his comfort zone and he's not making an effort for us to be better every single day. So definitely, I know my partner right now would not do some things, but I expect in a few years to come, he can be able to do these things. So if I don't see that growth desire in him, then I feel like that's the time that I should take a walk. Yes.
Take a walk on the beach.
Yeah.
What do you have to say?
I'll have to support that widely, heavily, and extremely, because nowadays finding someone who is willing to see you grow, it's very hard and very rare. So if you see this person, he or she doesn't want to grow, it's okay to leave. It's
When
okay
you're
to walk
talking
out.
about growth, even before we walk out, you know, growth is inevitable.
True.
Growth, you know, I'm looking at it from the perspective of, you're not the same way you're born. You had to grow automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's inevitable.
true.
But also now, what makes you grow? Because now we are looking at the characters, the morals, the values, what is making you as a person. Those ones are inbuilt, not those ones are not inbuilt, and those ones don't come automatically. You have to work towards it because it's an investment on yourself. And now, when you are talking about now investing on yourself and having this as values or something to look at to make your partner grow, to grow yourself, is it something that you discuss, or is it something that you just compliment? You know, I like the way you said that this Valentine came out very bright for you, and that the person you are with right now is very intentional. That is something that we lack in a lot of relationships, even in marriages.
Yeah.
People are not intentional. We just assume things. But you being intentionally, doing things intentionally means you sat and thought about it before you even do it.
True.
Very
So
true.
at what point do you as a woman or a lady, do you as a man sit and see this partner is worth the intentionality, or rather than isikuwe ni ile biashara ya I'm intentional just to get you on my side, but when we start this journey, I'm here seated and I'm like, where is the intentional? Did we live intentional somewhere?
Yeah, I think I would start by saying growth starts from a personal level.
Yeah.
I don't need to wait for my partner to expect me to grow. I don't expect my partner to tell me to grow. I need to know that Gracie, last year I was at point A, but this year I need to strive to be at point B. So I need to work hard for my own personal growth. You see, so I feel like so for me, my first take home would be growth is from a very personal point of view. So it's not about me pleasing my partner. It's not about me pleasing the society, but it's about me having self-fulfillment and making sure that I am not in my comfort zone. And in terms of relationships, yes, of course, I desire a relationship to grow. But, you know, when it comes to relationship, as I earlier said, it's a give and take. You know, as he's doing his part, I'm also doing my part. So that together our united efforts can make this relationship grow. Fine, I could see that he has made a lot of efforts for us to be together. And once we are together, I need to observe to see, has he gone to his comfort zone because I'm in the picture? Has he gone to his comfort zone because he has already ashapata trophy, you know, asha run the race, ashapata this girl. But if I don't see the growth, then in our relationship, then it's also good for us to sit down and tell him, you know what, in order for our relationship to go to other levels, we all need to put in effort. There's the role you need to play, and there's the role I need to play. And when we each play our roles effectively, then we are elevated. So should I go into a relationship and we are already in a relationship and I see that this man growth has stopped or it's stagnant, and if I communicate and he doesn't do anything about it, then those are grounds of maybe exiting the relationship, because at the end of the day, we want to be with partners who will help us grow as individuals and who will also help us grow together as a couple or as an item.
Interesting.
I love the way she has said, at first she said that it's not all about you as a woman getting the gifts. You as a woman can gift the man. And also the way she said about effort. Effort to yourself is everything. I love that. I love
Interesting, because I don't know where it was written, or rather the notion as to which ladies perceive. You know, we always say we expect, yangu ni yangu, yake ni yetu. That is the notion that we always carry around, right? Hence why a lot of ladies don't give their men. But also women are coming out, calling out women to be able to invest also in their men, on their men as well. I had someone saying on TikTok, it is very wrong for a man to call a friend, a fellow man, asking for as little as 5,000 shillings. Na ni kitu unaweza itisha your lady if you invest in your lady.
By the way,
but that one also comes with the shared interest and to what level you guys are in that relationship.
By the way, I read something, if a woman loves you, she'll spend on you. Is that notion true?
She'll tell us when you come back after the break, because that is the same notion that is being used. If a man loves you, he'll spend on you.
Yeah.
So if I don't spend and he doesn't spend on me, does that mean we don't love each other?
True.
That should be the question.
That should be
right?
the big question.
Viewer, what do you have to say about that? If a man doesn't spend on you, if a lady doesn't spend on you, does it mean you don't love each other? Send in your question, send in your answer across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. We'll be back shortly.
What is the biggest challenge that you face as an aspiring filmmaker?
First biggest challenge is still financial. Finance problem. Especially as young filmmakers, you're trying to navigate something for the first time, and there is a lot of pressure from the people in the game.
You people, you don't take it like let's say it's not like a challenge, like
it comes all round.
Like he's just challenging you to do better. Like you try to improve what you feel like they're not doing it in the right way.
This pressure comes with the challenge. First and foremost is the resources, is the finance that comes with it, because at the end of the day, as long as you're trying to create films, you're trying to improve your quality with time. Because at the end of the day, you see, competition is, for example, just in the music industry. You know, you might find yourself being in the music industry and you quit. Not that you can't do it, not that you can't see or you're not seeing or taking it as a challenge, as something to boost you up. But sometimes it can come and overweight. The challenge becomes
This program, Out of Despair, brings people out of a desperate situation. And once the Word of God comes in your life, you are able to live a very happy and a very beautiful spiritual life. The Bible says the church is a meeting of those who are truly born again. They are washed away from their sins They are saints. In other words, this is a movement. Coming back to the Father is what we can call repentant. Don't think to say within yourselves, you have Abraham as your father. For God is able out of these stones to raise children unto Abraham. And so saints, people who are holy, who are made holy, they are a church. How about the rest? The rest who are not a church, then they can never be called a church. May God bless you. May God keep you. Thank you.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, viewer, to Chungu cha Jamii. Today we are talking about the aftermath of Valentine. We have Hope with us, who is sharing with us her story and how Valentine's journey and relationship has been. And you also have Gracie, who is a counselor, who is also helping us to understand better. Before we went on a break, we had asked a question. Should a lady gift, a lady who gifts, who doesn't gift his man, doesn't love you? Yeah. And if a man doesn't gift you, doesn't love you. So what is your take on that? Send in your answer to us, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. So what is your take on the same before our viewers answer that? Me, let's start with me. Let me also give my own point of view. Me as the host, me as the person, me as Eunice. I always think, we can't say we don't love each other simply because you're not spending on each other. But I think spending and gifting is something that comes naturally. True. And if you're a gifter and if you value that in spending on people, I think it's only a matter of drawing a line and understanding, because a lot of people may take advantage of that. Yeah. Even your friends, forget about relationship. Even your friends, even your family, once they realize you like you're so generous, they take opportunity or advantage of that. So you also have to be very cautious and very aware and deliberate as well when you're giving the gifting part or when you're spending on someone. I could be spending on Hope na yana juanga uni sponsor bana. I could spoiler. True. Yeah. So what is your take on the same?
For me, I think first of all I would break the thought process that when I spend on the person I love, it has to be gifts that are of monetary value, because my time is also a gift.
Times kila mtu ako nayo sis.
So if I decide to wake up in the morning and we meet for that cup of coffee or to have lunch, that is also a way of me giving you my time, which is very precious for me. And for me, that would also mean a very, precious gift of time. I feel like if there is something or someone that I love, I would truly invest naturally, without pressure, without feeling the losses, without counting the losses, without even going at any kind of budget line. I must spend this, learning overspend on. No, such thought processes I don't think would come to me if I truly loved someone or if I truly loved something. I would willingly spend on that person. But then again, I would not make it to be big things, because I would do the small, simple ways, but in good ways, so that they can see the intention is pure.
I think what you said about spending time as you get to Hope here, until you find someone who has no time for you, in as much as nimesema time kila mtu ako nayo, if you will know you don't know.
Actually, I always tell girls when I'm mentoring them, because I hear people come to me with stories like, he stays, a whole day or 2 days without texting, without calling. I'm like, if he loved you, angepata tu time na kutumia that quick message or just say
You
hello.
know,
you know.
bro, we can stay for a month without talking, but in the back of our minds, we know we love each other.
I don't do that one.
Wongo bwana. Wongo.
Wait. Where is the rule of thumb saying that because we're in a relationship, we have to be in constant communication in the sense of I have to be calling you every now and then, texting you, you know.
It's
I
not.
could be, maybe.
If we are not communicating, what are we doing?
It's not about even.
It's about understanding that Eunice here is very busy. Hope there is very busy. You know, you don't have that best friend that you don't talk to. But akikupigia sahi moshene mtapiga ni kama ulikuwa naye asubuhi.
But people make time for people they love.
I think it's not about ati ile constant communication, morning, lunchtime and all, but at least somewhere in the day you can be like, Grace, how have you been? Is all okay?
Swali.
Si pia kuongea kama mnauziana shamba.
Let's draw some line here. Let's draw some line here and make something very clear. So does that mean if I have a man and doesn't call me for a day, 2, 3, a week, there is like nothing. You know, mi naweza kuwa na understand schedule yake ni crazy. Na pia ya na understand mazee kupata udem, it's tricky. So let me give him space, let me give her space, let me give him space. But you also know we love each other.
Maneno haya. Sio mageni jijini. Ila kwa mgeni.
I wouldn't gauge that to be a healthy.
I hope you're not fair. You just said.
I wouldn't gauge that to be a very healthy relationship.
No, we are very healthy because you also understand each other's schedules.
So if he doesn't reach out to me 2 days, and let's say I'm very sick, so
kama uko siku nampigia simu nasema yo babe,
so it's me to reach out.
Hey.
Madam nakwaga selfish. Who's supposed to call first between you and the guy?
We are supposed to call each other,
yes.
message each other.
This is a
but
two-way
nikiona
traffic,
like
bwana.
mimi ndo na make effort a whole week, hapo nitajita kamkutano.
Madam Grace hata alisema it's a two-way traffic.
Nijulize maswali 1 or 2. Yeah.
Hapa unafaa ujite kamkutano ujigombanishe. Ujipigie kele.
By the end of the day utabaki tu ukijidate.
Sister, you know that line, sister unajidate. So that is scam. Ni mambo live.
This one is serious. So umesema there is no relationship like that. Na hizo za long distance relationships. Unajua hata hizo texts zinaweza kuwa ziko kwa traffic.
No.
Hapana.
We always make time for the things that we love.
Yes.
For the people we love.
If there is no time invested, that means there is nothing you have for this person.
Because that means they're not giving me the attention that...
No, let's agree. So if a person is not investing their time on you, that means that can you take that one as an automatic, there is nothing going on.
Yeah.
We are just like there for...
Me, I would say, if he or she is not making time for you, there is someone who is being made that time. Yeah, I know that will sink so deep and so hard, you know, but it's
always hits different, especially when you're having such a conversation and you're like, you know, some people might say it's very normal. It's very normal for them. Yeah, it's very normal actually. I've had instances of my few girlfriends and friends who are men, and they're like, tunaongea kila siku kwani tunauza shamba. Are we talking business or what are we talking about? I think I'm from that school of thought. When I say I'm from that school of thought, I would say before, I'm from the school of thought, it's not a big deal. We don't have to talk every day. Because again, what are we talking about every day again? I think it always goes to your values, your alignments, your so forth, you know. I could be calling you, you're a doctor, terminology unatumia bro. It doesn't work with me. You, on the other side, I'm a influencer. Nakuja kukwambia stories za influencer, and you're like, you're wasting times on social media. And I'm like, I'm making money on social media. You already see, we are not aligning. So hata nikikucall na kupigia story gani, my story are not interesting to you, and so are your stories not interesting to me. So by the end of the day, what are we calling each other to tell each other? Nothing. That is how I look at it. I'm from that school of thought, whereby we could be talking, ile time we come to talk, we talk for like an hour, 2 hours, something very substantial, very concrete, that will cover the whole month or 2 months that we've not been talking. Does it make sense?
It does make sense.
So that by the end of the day, we don't like talk every day na kwa ni salamu, and like hata nikikucall, I don't see the value in your call. But if you don't talk every day, if I see Hope calling, I know. Hata kama niko busy, I'll be like, Hope, can I call you back? So that, because I know, hii yenye umecall, we need more time. And I need the concentration to be able to get. Because it doesn't happen every day. But if we talk every day, I lose the interest and the meaning of it. What do you think? That's my thinking as a person. I'm from that school of thought. Umeshasema najidate. It's not sinking in.
Hapo mambo inakuwa ngumu kidogo.
I think that one we cannot cast a stone or a spell on.
Yeah, because different people view differently relationships.
Yeah, it's because it also goes with we have these 2 famous politicians. They're husband and wife, but they don't live together.
True.
But you would be from the school of thought, if you're married, we have to live in the same house. But me, I'd prefer you live there, me, I live here. If we need to meet each other, you can come visit me, I can come visit you. But by the end of the day, kila mtu akae kwake.
True.
Sasa kuna ule mtu mwenye atasema, it's not working.
It's not working.
Au ni millennials?
No. Yo, the Gen Z knew. What do you have to say? Even when you umetaja millennials, that tells me it's a Gen Z thing.
Okay, as a Gen Z, hapo inakuwa ngumu kidogo tu. Kuna waya zinashikana kidogo, kama kosa kadogo kanatokea.
Kama kosa
kadogo tu.
And now that Gracie, what would you say from a counselor's perspective? Because there is also another day we were having a conversation about a sleep divorce. Sleep divorce is where you sleep in separate beds. You only sleep in the same bed when you're wanting to get intimate. And after that, you go to your room, I go to my room, and we're in the same house. So as a counselor, what is your take as you wind up?
On sleep divorce?
No, not on sleep divorce. On what you're talking about generally.
I feel like because of our different backgrounds, because of our different perspectives, we view things differently. And even intergenerational, we view things in a very different perspective. And as I said, our relationships can never be the same. What works in my household will never work in your household. Yeah. So I feel like we need to get to a point of we just have boundaries and just know for society, this is how my relationship can work, and this is how the other person's relationship can work. And there's no cast or stone, as you said. There are people who want their men to be calling them after every 2 hours. Na kuna mwingine anasema mtu ananibo. This person is so annoying. This person is so boring. So at the end of the day, we have to acknowledge diversity, especially because of our upbringing. Maybe there's a way I was brought up and I view marriage. There's a way you were brought up and you view this thing called marriage. So we just have to do what works for us as individuals, what works for us in our relationships.
And by the end of the day, they always say the right person will come to you.
True.
So if you are a caller person, you'll get a caller person. If you find yourself from the school of thought of kila mtu kwa nyumba yake, you'll still find that person.
True.
Because I think everyone is cut out. You have someone, a good partner or friend out there who is really built for you. Yeah. So kama hujapata ribi yako,
and at the end of the day, you still have to find a person who you share energies that you can reciprocate.
Yeah, I had this once, Kitambo, as we wind up. I want you guys to give your parting shot as well. Okay. That if you only know you're with the right person if whenever you're going through a tough time, a happy time, or whatever time, is the first person is popping on your mind.
True.
Like niko na stress, let me call this person, will help me to unwind. I'm so happy. Yo, we need to celebrate this. That the energy you're talking about.
Yeah.
What are your sisters? What is your parting shot?
I would say vibe, the energy you
vibe
guys
and energy.
can reciprocate. Anakuget yani.
All right, thank you ladies for coming and for making this conversation very interesting. I'm sure we'll have you back on set again. Due to public demand, we can continue it online. Tuta content create kwa nini, you know.
Yes.
Viewer, let's continue this conversation across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. Till next time, have a nice time. Goodbye.
Everywhere, GBS.